Bam, we're live. Good morning. I think it's been 3 weeks since we've had Greg on. It's been a minute. Slater, good morning. Ryan, what's up, dude? CrossFit is better than prescription medications. Well, that's for sure. Eric, hey, dude. Jake Chapman. Poor and rich people go mental with the decorations. Everyone in the middle sort of doesn't bother. You mean like the outside decorations? Putting the decorations on the outside? I saw this video yesterday. Where is it? Let me see if I can play it for you. I thought this video explained why I never want to leave my house. Oh, here it is. I don't do decorations. I mean, I do them inside. I'll get a tree. I'll wait till they're on sale and get a tree. Check this video out here. It's a boy calling for his dad as his dad pulls. That's why I don't leave my house. That's my life right there. That's 30 times a day. I'm gonna finish the podcast. I'm gonna walk in there and my boys are gonna bomb me. They're running around the house in their boxer shorts. They dive on me. We play this game called See an Enemy where I lay on my back and then they have to try to get out. It's a little jiu-jitsu practice. I must do that 10 times a day with each boy. It's crazy. Crazy. Yesterday I cupped my boys. You know, the put the cups and you pump the gun and it's just, yeah, why would I want to leave the house if I got that going on? Hey, dude.
What up?
Hey, man. Hey, it's been 3 weeks since you've been on.
I know, it feels like a forever.
Welcome home.
Yeah, thanks.
Are we in a beard growing contest?
You know, my nails and beard, everything grows faster when I'm away or something.
Do you think you'll shave for Atlanta, or are you growing it out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But dude, I just, like I'm unpacking now. We got in at 8:30, 8:45 last night.
Oh, late. And you were planning on getting in early, right?
No, I don't.
No? Oh.
It was what it is.
Well, welcome home for a minute. You leave again very quickly.
Yeah.
And I'll see you Friday night in person.
Yep.
Or Friday afternoon even. Did you ever see what time you land in Atlanta?
I think I heard 1:30.
Oh, perfect. So I land at the same time. That's killer.
We'll share a ride.
Hey, did you see that Tucker went to Russia?
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
Is that scary? Why is he going to Russia again?
You can get scared, but do wars start like dogs that sniff each other's butts, growl, and then all of a sudden they're fighting? Or is it something more deliberate? See, the Victor Davis Hanson model is that as a people get fat and happy, they may lose the capacity to hold on to what they got. And that the great wars have all been where someone looked at fat and happy and thought it would be easy to take, and it was a horrific miscalculation in the end. And he talks Japan, Germany, right?
Go. So just let me give people the backstory.
I think the Russians are believe and are largely correct that a united front against them, they would just come out so devastatingly behind.
Let me see if I can find the Basically, for those of you who aren't following, it sounds like yesterday Tucker went to Russia to meet with their Russian Foreign Secretary, Lavrov. And when I say meet, it sounds like it's going to be an interview that he's going to do and that we're all going to get to watch at home. And he's standing in Russia and he looks at the camera and says basically that to his shock, there's no communication between the United States and Russia. And yet we're on the brink of World War III. And we're closer to World War III than the Cuban Missile Crisis. And that 12 soldiers in Russia have been killed by these long-range missiles, these missiles that go 180 miles that we gave to Ukraine and told Ukraine not to use. And then last week we said, okay, you can shoot them into Russia if you want. And Zelensky shot him into Russia and 12 Russian soldiers are killed. And basically, I think he even says something even stronger. He says, we are at war with Russia. We killed 12 of their soldiers and the U.S. population doesn't know it. And we are in Blinken has cut all communications with Russia. Is that what you heard Tucker say also? You think that's true? I mean, in the first interview with Putin, he said, when they're like, do you talk to Biden? He's basically, as I recall, he said, no, I talked to your CIA. Talk to the deep state.
Yeah, it's funny. They bug his phone.
Who Biden's?
The CIA.
Oh, yeah. Sean Lenderman, it's all bullshit. There won't be a World War III.
Yeah,
I hope he's right.
That's kind of where my instincts are at.
You think there's some climates
like Putin without nukes? I mean, what do they have going?
But he does have nukes.
He does, he's got to remind everyone of that constantly. He needs to threaten nuclear war constantly, and the more Americans fear him and his nuclear weapons and his rhetoric and his saber rattling, the more powerful the nukes he has that might not work anyways.
Right.
They're an absurdity of a military power. Hey, according to the Epoch Times, listen to this.
Yeah.
According to the Epoch Times, the People's Liberation Army is terrified of any kind of encounter with Taiwan and American equipment and expertise, and that Xi Jinping could lose power over this invading Taiwan bullshit. The military wants nothing to do with it. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is interesting. I watched a bunch of videos yesterday of B-2 bombers and B-21 bombers dropping their payloads. It's a pretty crazy event. I saw this footage of a B-2 bomber. You know, that's the one that looks like the flying triangle.
Yeah.
Doing a slow fly over Miami Beach when it was packed. It was incredible footage. It, like, you know what I mean? 10,000 people on the beach are like this. You know, it looks like a UFO.
John Kramer did some essential software management development and some of the systems on that thing for years.
That's cool. Who made that plane? Is it? Where does he work? Can you say where he works?
Yeah, Raytheon.
Is that that's a Raytheon product, the whole plane, or
no?
Oh.
Just like fire control system, and that's not like fire suppression. That's weapons.
Mike Sandone, we have the dumbest foreign policy right now. It's almost like they want us into World War III. A nuclear exchange is unlikely, but an escalation to include other European countries is possible. Meanwhile, one country over from Ukraine is Poland, the safest country in Europe. I keep seeing all their stats. It's crazy.
Yeah, my gut and instincts, and maybe it's just part of getting old and having all these fucking kids, but I'm more and more isolationist.
You mean as a country, we should more and more be looking at ourselves.
Look, if someone needs to fear the Russians, I think it ought to be the French, the Germans, the British, the Italians,
Right.
the Croatians, the Turks. That's who should fear the Russians. They're not coming over here. And if they did, we'd do whatever it took to kill them as best as we could, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if propping up a Europe that doesn't want to defend itself so that the target looks juicier and juicier to a madman until eventually fucking American boys are dying over there again.
Hey, do you when you like do you let me name some organizations? World Health Organization. Do you believe that? Do you think it's captured?
It does nothing.
And do you think it's captured? It's being basically run by pharma?
No, but no, likely something worse.
China?
Something UN-ish.
Okay, and then so you think the UN is captured also?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Antithetical to all American interests. I do.
Yeah.
It's been that way for a long time.
Yeah. I'm just
I mean, they put terror countries in charge of like terror related business. It's hilarious.
like Iran, Iraq, and Syria
that's you can't even believe it. It's been a joke forever. That'd get all those people out of there and fill it full of homeless. New York deserves that.
Hey, what do you think about Eric Adams flipping the script, the mayor of New York?
Deport people to where? To Texas? He's gonna get back at Abbott, or is he gonna send him to Florida?
I don't know what he's gonna do, but his press conference yesterday was hilarious. He's like, if you want to cancel me, but I'm the same as Hillary and Obama. He referenced them, that he's the same as them. He doesn't want illegals in his city. It's like he's talking tough, but he's still being a pussy. He can barely speak. I bet you. Did he have a stroke or something? He has some sort of. He has a really slow processor. Have you noticed that about him? He seems dumb.
I wonder what kind of cop he was. It'd be interesting. It helped my opinion of if dudes. Wasn't he NYPD, right?
Yeah, I think he was the chief of police.
It would help my opinion of him to hear from wizened veteran cops talk about what an incredible guy he was on the force. Like best sergeant I ever had, best lieutenant ever. You know what I mean? The kind of things you'd expect of a police chief.
Yeah.
Or hope for.
You know the police chief of Minneapolis, before he was police chief, he refused to carry a gun as a cop. He said it was against his morals or religion. And he actually he was in a bank when a bank got robbed. And he ran. Liz Collins.
He ran for mayor.
That too. Liz Collins revealed that story. Holy shit! This is breaking news here. Was it Sean who said that? Someone in the comments. Daniel Garrity. Eric Adams is going to be busy for a while. A major CEO murdered in his city this morning. Holy shit!
Yeah, it was the CEO of United Healthcare.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
Which, geez, Brian Thompson. That's a big story.
The gunman who was wearing a ski mask fled down an alleyway near West 55th Street and remains at large. The man is described as skinny, wearing all black, who stands about 6'1", police said. This is a developing story. Please check back. Okay, I will. Holy shit. How big is United Healthcare? Are they massive?
They're huge, huge. Hey, Sevi, I bet they've already got his termination date on his Wikipedia page.
Shit.
I think there's people that have that hobby.
Soon they want to be the first. The company is ranked 8th on the 2024 Fortune Global 500. They have a $474 billion market cap. Wow. Oh, that poor guy.
50 years old.
Oh my goodness. We don't know what happened. We don't know if he was being robbed or it was a stray.
Now they're calling it a hit.
Oh, like it was done on purpose, like it was targeted.
Oh yeah. The fellow waited outside with the backpack on, was there for hours before it happened.
Oh man. Oh, I'm gonna follow this story. This is crazy. The suspect in the oh no. Let me see. Do they have a name?
Yeah, Brian Thompson's the name of the dead guy.
No, of the shooter?
No. Not yet. Not that I've heard.
It's funny, you type in murder Manhattan and another story pops up. On June 25th, the former executive assistant to tech CEO found decapitated in Manhattan apartment. They caught that guy. Are you following the South Korea story?
I am.
What's going on there? Like I read it and the only thing that stuck out to me is the same thing that we have going on here, right? It said South Korea puts on martial law to stop communist takeover. So you're doing communist acts to stop communist takeover. And I was like, okay, well, sounds about right out of the Democrats' playbook.
I don't know. Is in the other party, the party that the president's not in, if it's really like a two-party thing, are they sympathetic to reunification?
I don't know. I guess that was the issue too, right?
I don't know. Is there a capitulation contingent of any size in South Korea? Like, is it okay as a South Korean to go, I think we should just bury the hatchet and rejoin with the North, and we'll do a little bit of both. We'll just do some starvation, not a bunch of it. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Eaton Beaver, good morning. Good morning.
Instead of mass executions, we'll just have mid-sized ones.
Have you ever seen those videos where they reunify families that were split up when North and South Korea split? They're crazy.
Maybe. That whole concept's just horrific to me.
North Korea, Russia, and China watch on a crisis as it unfolds in key U.S. ally South Korea. Yoon Suk declared martial law on Tuesday night. That was reversed hours later following overwhelming opposition across the political spectrum.
They're saying he's going to get impeached.
The president?
Yeah.
For doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, how would you unify them?
What, the two Koreas? I don't even know if that's quite the issue or not, but I do know that he was saying that something to that effect, that there's people capitulating, enemies of the country capitulating to the North or in league with the North. Does North Korea have a sophisticated presence in the South? You know what I mean? Or is it all ham-fisted like the nerve gas shit?
You mean like spies and like people undermining the government there?
Yeah.
I saw a North Korean spy was caught yesterday in the United States. So they say. I don't even know what to believe anymore. I am very curious what Tucker Carlson's going to bring back. And obviously the Russians aren't stupid. They're talking to him for a reason. I'm assuming when you talk to, if you're Russia, you only talk to Tucker because you want to speak directly to the American people, right?
Yeah, I mean it's what he does, and he lost his Fox gig, so I've always enjoyed listening to him. Years and years ago, he was the bow tie wearing young man from Florida on CNN.
Yeah.
Kind of a semi-token conservative on every once in a while.
Was he a conservative there or was he a liberal?
No, it was, he was rational. He's good. He was a good voice. He was a good presence.
Man, there's some great pictures of him when he wore the bow tie. Look at this thing.
Yeah. Where he looks 24.
Yeah. That's when I guess he worked at the New York Times before CNN.
Is that right?
Yeah, it says a brief timeline of Tucker Carlson's career at the New York. Oh, no. The article is the New York Times.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
And then there's Kash Patel. I heard an interview of his the other day that he's going to release the JFK files and the 9/11 papers immediately upon entering office. He said the JFK files are going to be a disappointment for many. He said there's nothing in there that we don't already know or suspect that hasn't been already said in the public. But he said the 9/11 papers are going to really fucking piss some people off.
Well, good.
I know, right?
Yeah. He's done some important revealing of things or critical stuff, right?
He was the dossier guy.
Yes. Which led to the unraveling and the realization that the whole thing was a goddamn scam. All of it.
Hillary Clinton spent $1.3 million to put the dossier together.
Yeah, to interfere with the presidency. Violate the rights of a citizen, violate the rights of a sitting president. It feels crazy. Treasonous. It feels treasonous to lie to a judge.
And she was found guilty. They were found guilty of that. She had to pay a fine, like $135,000 or something.
It doesn't matter, but I think anyone that demonstrates what he has, what we now know, that's the perfect qualification to be the next guy in charge. I'm totally good with that.
Yeah, me too. What do you
this is how we end up too with our friends at NIH and HHS. The same damn concept.
Did you read the story about Patel and his involvement with the SEAL Team 6 flyover, landing and rescuing of the hostage? Do you know that story?
No.
So I guess I don't remember which country it is, but I guess there was some country in Africa where someone was being held hostage, and Kash Patel's job was to get flyover clearance so that the SEALs could land there and rescue. Let me type in Kash Patel SEAL rescue, and as the mission began, they realized Nigeria. Kash Patel was blamed for an incident that threatened to jeopardize the U.S. SEAL Team 6 rescue mission in Nigeria during Trump's first administration. And he basically said, hey, we have clearance to fly over and land when they didn't. An American named Philip Walton was kidnapped from his farm in southern Niger and brought to Nigeria.
Did they rescue him?
They did get him.
Okay. And what's the source on this? Who cares?
I mean, this one's from the this article I'm looking at here is from the Washington Examiner.
Because we can't deny the whole Benghazi thing and then worry about this. For me,
Oh, you
for my
froze.
remember Hillary's. It was the offensive movie excuse for Benghazi.
No, sorry, you broke up for a second. My internet went down for a second. Say that again. Remember what?
I'm saying that I can't worry about whether they had the right flyover permission or not on a successful mission, a successful rescue,
Yeah.
when we're all still pretending like there was some confusion about Benghazi.
And refresh me, what happened there?
That's where the ambassador was killed, and Hillary was at the heart of saying do nothing, and it turned out tragic.
Right.
Just absolutely tragic. And then lied about the origins of it. Remember, I'm right.
Yes.
About this thing.
Yes. You're right. It was a friend of yours that was killed.
There's that. God, Brett Baer did a thing on this that everyone ought to look up. It probably sits on YouTube. But they built a model, a satellite guided 3D model where the dudes that were there told the chain of events. And they were killing guys so fast they were running out of ammunition.
The 2 or 3 guys that were on the ground?
Yeah, there were dudes on the roof, our guys. I don't want to misquote the story. It's been long enough, but it was one of those things that was just revolting.
Oh, someone's saying, is that what the movie 13 Hours was about? There was a movie already about it?
Yeah, there's a lot about it. A book.
And she got off, and she escaped any.
Look up her role. I don't want to misspeak, but
watch the movie. Is it good? I'm watching too many things right now.
Yeah, I've heard it is good.
My favorite fighting movie, great movie, yes.
Yeah, I guess people just cry afterwards. I think, is that the one? It ought to be, because it's that bad.
Did the ambassador get killed there?
Yes, he did.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was as smoothly performed as the Afghanistan pullout.
And that's Libya, Benghazi's Libya?
Yeah.
Wow, people love the movie. It's incredible how well they made that movie. I cried after watching the most recent CrossFit Games documentary.
Okay, we got to watch it then.
Oh, God. He got killed and they shoved a broomstick up his ass. Jeez. Oh, the ambassador? Jesus. At least they did it after he was dead. Hillary was in charge of security in Benghazi as Secretary of State.
That's my understanding. I think she did nothing, recommended doing nothing. It came out worst case scenario, then she lied about it.
Jesus, Syria still has problems now? Syria's fighting too? The whole Middle East is a mess, huh?
We were filming a weightlifting thing once. I'm going to be very generic and don't put any names on this thing, Sevi.
Okay.
And it's this elite SOCOM dude was relating a time they were chasing these guys, and we followed them into Syria. And across the room, you can see the other guy doing this, like, no. And it was all incidental to the whole. It was at Bergner's. You remember that?
Vaguely. Can you tell me more? Can you tell me what happened?
Just the guy, oops, did I say we chased this guy into Syria? You know?
Oh, right. Oh shit! They have fighting in the fucking capital of Syria. I know civil wars dominated international headlines for more than a decade and has now been reignited after a coalition of Syrian rebels. What a mess. I went to Syria. It was awesome.
You came back and they asked how long you'd served in the Syrian army, right?
Yeah, that was a different trip. I came on another trip when I came. I mean, I had been to Syria, but then on another trip, I went through customs, and in secondary, they're like, go to secondary. I said, okay. I think it was in Los Angeles or it was in Miami. It was in Miami. And they said, how long have you been in the Syrian army? I said, I've not. They said, well, how long have you served with the Syrian army? I said, not. And they said, well, what were you doing with the Syrian army? I'm like, I'm not. They're like, all right, third dairy, whatever third dairy is. And they fucking were so insistent that I was part of the Syrian army that I somehow worked there. I was like, hey, dude. And I think I had a beard at the time. I'm like, hey, dude, I could shave and all this will go away. Like, they were so convinced that I had worked in the Syrian army. I told you that story. My dad and I drove into Syria from Lebanon. We were at the border. There was no one else fucking crossing the border. We drove, and there's a sign there. So there's Lebanon, and then there's like a no man land, right? I had never seen this between countries. There's just a whole section where it's like, 5 or 10 miles of just nothing. And then you get to Syria, right? It's like this buffer zone. And so as we go into Syria, there's a sign there that says, welcome to Syria. So I get out of the car and I ask my dad to take a picture of me. And my dad has taken a picture of me, and then he puts the camera down. I'm like, what's up? And I turn around and there's a guy pointing a gun at me. He's like, you can't take a picture in front of that sign. I'm like, I can't take a picture in front of the welcome to Syria sign. He's like, no, you can't take any pictures at the border. He's talking to my dad in Arabic.
That's how welcome you are.
I know. It was crazy.
Welcome to Syria. Put your hands up.
Yeah. And there was like nothing there. There was nothing there. It was just nothing. Just a sign. You know what I mean? And like a box that a guy sat in.
I miss traveling with you.
What we're going to do.
But I also hate travel. I was just going to reaffirm that too. But if you got to travel, you're the perfect companion. And I can tell you why.
Please.
It's like, it's a skill set. It's a skill. And there's things you learn not to do, like when they call your boarding group to go get in line at Starbucks.
Right. Right. Yeah, you and I do have that in common. We like to get on the plane and get situated,
etc.
Yeah.
Don't see how many of the shit in your bag rules you can violate.
Right.
Don't bring the gun. When it's cool, we were flawless. I mean, we were the Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers of fucking flying fucking places.
Wow, thank you.
We did that so well, and yet we still had bizarro interaction.
Yeah.
Like the time they grabbed Dave in Canada and squirted out all his toothpaste and shit. And he wanted to stay, and I left, and they asked him, why are your friends in such a hurry to go?
I remember when Dave got grabbed. I was like, what the fuck?
He'd rather go to Saudi Arabia than Canada. Only because of how they treated him.
I've gone to Canada 5 times. 4 times I've had to go to secondary. Even the first time I went in the 8th grade with my dad, when we drove in, we had to go to secondary. But the one time that I didn't have to go to secondary is the time I flew in with you. We didn't have any customs. We flew in on a private plane.
We landed in Toronto past 10 p.m. They said customs goes home.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. That's it. There's your tip, everyone. Flying after 10, everyone left. Hey, remember when they took my bag from me in Great Britain?
Yeah, that was amazing.
And then demanded to know what was in it, and I had to tell him I have no fucking idea. You just took in that little room with the fucking no windows and shut the door.
Right. You know, they never. Do you remember they didn't even search your bag after that? After you refused to comply, they said, "Fuck you, Americans, get out of here."
Yeah. Threw it at me. He threw my bag at me. Two-handed. Yeah, I got called an ugly American.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Because I didn't know what was in my bag after he took it with all his friends in the back room.
I thought for sure we were going to miss our flight and have to do strip down. And instead they went the opposite way. They just said, "Fuck you guys, get out of here."
I remember you had the temper tantrum in Dubai, and I thought they were going to execute you out in the desert. Instead, when security showed up, they made him give you your thing back. And we got on the plane. I was afraid to even stand near you, dude.
Oh, shit. Hey, I had a temper tantrum going both ways. Do you remember that? Flying there, they tried to take a bag from me and I lost my shit. And then flying home, I lost my shit. I think we flew out of SFO and I started yelling at the people.
Hey, Will told me 80% of the places he goes, he knows he would never come back. And I was like, man, that's quite a sport, you know?
You mean like visit Hawaii and be like, "Fuck, I could stay here if I didn't have to go home and take care of my kids"?
No, when he travels foreign places, and he's not quite like you, but a lot like you and I. He's been to a lot of places, and he says that 80% of the time he knows he'd never come back.
What do you mean by I'm getting lost on the he knows he'd never come back thing?
He'd check it off, like, you know.
Oh, never visit again. Okay.
Yeah.
Saw Morocco, not going back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Gets a check in the box. Even if it was a good experience, but it would come back.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm thinking that's an interesting hobby or sport, or I don't know if that sits right with me.
As I get older, that number gets higher and higher and higher. Like Paris at 20 is awesome. New York City at 20 is awesome. If I never went to New York City again now, it would be fine. The only reason I'd ever go back there is like if you had a speaking gig or to show my kids.
Sevi, the trip we took from Heathrow to the Four Seasons in Park Lane was 20 miles ish, and it took 2 hours and something.
In London.
Yeah, and when we were on a major thoroughfare going 5 to 7 miles an hour or whatever it was, just appalling traffic. But the street stretched as far as you could see, and at most intersections it was that way to the left and the right. And it's the nicest, cleanest big stretch of big city I've ever seen anywhere. And I don't think you could put a composition of America's finest downtown and get a stretch that looks anything like that.
Just like no homeless people, no broken down cars, no boarded up buildings, shit like that.
Commerce and foot traffic and trains, and I don't know. It was a thriving, bustling, clean, you know. And no matter who you touch, you go, you should see, and like, yeah, I didn't see that part. But what I'm going to tell you is that there's a 20-mile long stretch it looks like Rodeo Drive times 10, but 20 miles instead of a block, you know?
Meanwhile, when we went to go to that football game in Los Angeles, I landed at the airport. The entire drive to my hotel and then the entire drive to SoFi Stadium looked like fucking India. I can't even believe what's happened to LA. It's just shanty towns everywhere, under every bridge, along every freeway. It wasn't like that 20 years ago at all.
The coolest part of the soda tour was traveling to some of the seediest, grungiest, shittiest places of New York along the canal or whatever it is, the LA River. And a lot of it under freeway, remember? And the seedy element we saw, and you know, large groups of young men in their late teens, early 20s with nothing to do but stand around under the freeway. And the immunity that was conferred by the obvious looks of our federal agents who were armed in the bike ride.
Do you
Remember
remember
that?
I got and I got a flat tire and got separated from the pack. And when I called my Uber driver, he's like, "What are you doing in this part of town?" Like, I got a flat. He's like, "You cannot be here."
Sort of tour.
You know where the baby stocking is?
No, I don't, honey. I'll look for it. I think the elf got it.
It's like no,
She
it's
want-
like a white bear.
Okay, well, I'll come look for it in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, Mom has to know where it is.
No, listen.
Okay.
She wants salt.
It's a stocking to put over the fireplace. Something's missing.
That voice is amazing, angelic.
Yeah.
Jeremy World, it's a shame how us blacks are treated. Hey, Sevi, yeah, horrible. I've told you this story before, but when I filmed that movie Desert Runners and we were Egypt, it was like a 2-week race, and we're 3 days into the race, and fucking 10 Toyota, whatever, I don't know what they're called, starts with an H, High Cliffs or whatever. Hilux roll out to the desert, and they're holding up a picture of a guy, and it's the one Jewish guy doing the run. And then he's like, everyone looks over at him, and they're like, "You can't do this." And they grab him and fucking throw him out of the country. It's crazy. I spent probably 3 hours in customs when I landed in Egypt. Whole airport had emptied out. They were just tripping on my camera. Just tripping.
Sebi, my mom worked for a black electrical engineer with a large laboratory at Hughes, who had a slew of patents and major contributions in the world of antennas and phased array radar, and was a significant baller engineer at JPL. And
a black guy.
Black guy.
Born in the country?
Yeah. And then left engineering to become a megastar realtor after being told that no one's going to hire a black realtor at Century 21 school. But Jimmy Wad found some video of him explaining kind of his views on life, and it's actually stunning footage, and it's cool that my mom would remember him as one of the most brilliant and level-headed men of all the thousands of scientists that we knew at Hughes. Can I show you the clip?
Yeah, please. Hey, did he work for your did your mom work for him before she worked for your dad, or after?
No, my mom never worked for my dad.
Oh.
But they worked in the same missile systems group at Hughes Aircraft Company, and as did Ken Kelly.
That's the guy's name. Do you want me to pull up the video? You want me to tell me what to Google?
Yeah, let me see if I have it right here. So let me see if I can just send it to you by text.
Oh, it's a clip or it's a link?
It's a little clip.
Okay.
And I don't know where they got it, but
sometimes I have
my friends are resourceful. Here it is.
Sometimes I have issues getting
I'm going to give it to you right now.
Audio on clips. Hopefully I have the right settings.
But the guy had I wouldn't want to speak for him because he was pretty eloquent. And I just sent it to you via text.
I'm waiting for it to pop up.
But he was a beloved man in our household.
Andrew Hiller is in Canada doing some filming.
Yes.
And he tried to go to the ABC News website to watch news, and it says people in Canada cannot see this content. God, they have that. Do you know about what happened over there?
Probably not. You probably can't tell it.
They have something. They have something there where I think if you're a news organization and you publish on the internet there, you have to pay some sort of fine or tax to the Canadian government. And so all these news organizations are refusing to play that game with them. They're trying to basically, extract money out of the internet. It's weird. It's not showing up. It's not showing up. Let me see what's going on here.
Yeah, I heard it go ding.
That was on my phone. I need it to show up on my computer.
Oh.
Oh, this is good. This is
So it is a YouTube.
yeah, that's awesome. Let me see if I can text it to myself. I don't know why it's not popping up on my Yeah, Canada's a weird place. You saw the meeting between Trump and Trudeau,
I heard.
and Trump told him, "Hey, you could be the 51st state." Geez, what's going on here? Why isn't this Let me see if I can I'm just gonna search for it. This hasn't happened before.
You know what? I'll fire it up and grab the link.
I got it.
You got the link?
Video of Ken Kelly. Video of Ken Kelly. Is it started at the video of Ken Kelly YouTube? It's a long video.
Stop that.
Oh, there's so many Ken Kellys. Fucking YouTube.
That's it, though. That's the.
I have to find a better. I have to go to this guy's YouTube station. Hold on, Mark. Wienga. God, this is really bizarre that I can't find this.
Here's what I think I can do this. Look.
Just share it.
This. No way. I'm gonna open it in YouTube and copy the link that it shows. Then I'm gonna put that in you here.
Oh, in the private chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be good.
Paste.
Two old guys trying to do computer stuff.
That's what it is. And I apologize.
That could be the name of this show.
I'm trying to shut the guy out.
Is the whole thing on this guy?
Yeah.
It's an hour and 35 minutes.
I didn't watch it all, I'll be frank, but I will. I thought I'd show it to my mom when she came over next.
Greg, I look at did something pop up in the private chat for you?
Yeah. You want me to put it there?
Yeah, paste the link there.
Okay.
It's a trip. My text isn't linked up with my computer and my phone. That's never happened. Here we go. Got it.
It's only then that kinds of arguments to try to make it make sense.
Can you hear it?
But after a while, we learn that you can go and talk to somebody to your blue, and you think you're getting through by your words, but they have their guard up. And so they'll sit and listen to a lecture for an hour or so, and they'll go home. They'll feel good about having listened, and so, but they go right back to their patterns. You can't do anything from outside. You must be inside any institution to affect it. Because it's only then that they put their guard down and you become, one of the arguments about integration is, well, it's bad for business. But when I got my first job in the valley, in this white valley, the instructor for Century 21 said something to the effect, well, you can go out there, but you won't get any business. Again, that's his perception. In that Century 21, my first Century 21, I became the top broker, top commission. And I just went out, again, this business about your attitude. That guy may have felt I wouldn't get any business. I knew I would. I mean, I had no experience to prove it, but beliefs beliefs make such a difference in one's life. I knew that I could sell real estate, and I did. And it's only the belief that made it possible.
What a great story of not playing the victim.
While getting patent after patent after patent to Hughes Aircraft Company for antenna and transmitters.
Damn. This is cool. Is this worth watching the whole thing?
Yeah, I don't know. But it will be for me, but I have a bias that he and Loretta and Ron and David's sons were over regularly.
Oh, so your mom not only worked for him, but he was a cool boss. Like
She said that her favorite person at the whole Hughes Aircraft Company, practically, certainly her favorite boss by far. She also is the only person that she worked for that she'd never heard say anything cross or raise his voice, or always perfectly, wonderfully rational and kind.
Janice Young, good morning. We can't see news because Canadian government says the social medias should pay the news for their media, and social media is like, you're not taxing content. Fuck you. What a crazy thing to do to your citizens. Noodles, I love you, Greg.
Right. Thanks, nudes.
Yeah, Barry, we talked about that in the beginning of the show. Did you just hear about the United Health CEO that was shot outside the hotel? It's crazy. Greg, have you heard about Trump's homeschool credit?
No.
Supposedly, oh, now it just came in. Supposedly, he's going to give a $10,000 credit.
Tax credit?
Yeah. Homeschool.
To anyone homeschooling?
Yeah. And
with the DOE budget?
it's such a great workaround. If they're not going to let you choose, just make the incentive so great to homeschool that if you're on the fence, it just pushes you over, right? Here's an article. I don't know if this is true. It says homeschool groups have concerns about President-elect Donald Trump's proposed tax credit. Oh, as Illinois lawmakers look at regulating the practice, of course they do. Of course they do.
And I read that. And you know what they say our trouble is, or concerned? That it's going to damage the public schools. I think we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, this stinks of teachers' unions, this article. Where's this at? Advantage News. Trump says, I will do everything I can to support parents who make the courageous choice of homeschool, said Trump. I will work to ensure that every homeschool family is entitled to full access to the benefits available to non-homeschool students, including participating in athletic programs, clubs, and after-school activities. And listen, right now, Illinois is one of the most free states in the nation, liberally allowing us to homeschool as we wish. Yeah, right.
Now we'll keep going. Get to the downside.
It says it says conservative homeschoolers who don't even want to take that money because they claim it will put them on the radar for the government. If I take the tax credit, then they'll know I'm homeschooling. In case they do pass regulation, I don't want to submit to that.
That's why I'm not taking the money in Arizona.
Yeah, and I take the money here, and it is and we do have to do monthly checks and shit. And it is invasive. You know what I mean? Like someone comes to the house and sits with your kids and but it's cool. Our person's cool. The person we interface with at the state is so awesome. Look at the abuse in Chicago public school system itself, said Smith. Sexual abuse going on by administration with our students. Are you kidding me? Get your own house in order before start saying homeschoolers need to be regulated. So there's a threat there hanging over our heads. Oh, yeah, that was another one of the reasons. They were saying that kids that are homeschooled are more subject to sexual abuse than other abusive situations. Yeah, this article doesn't say shit. It's more like, hey, we want to take away your freedom of choice based on some hypothetical bullshit.
Growing the bureaucracy of education. Teachers and unions are essential to that.
There's this, I've heard Trump say it before. I don't remember what, I think it was about the Department of Education, but we really are at this point where what could be worse than what we have? So the Department of Education was installed in 1979 by Jimmy Carter, and education was going up. Test scores were going up until the actual day that organization was put in power in the United States government, that agency. And then it's been just a straight down ever since, a decline is what the graph shows. And it's like, you know, you could use that. Of course, there's going to be more abuse if you leave the kids at home, but as opposed to what? So, as opposed to just the horrible shit that happens at schools. They're looking. It sounds like they're looking for a connection between Fani Willis and Jack Smith. Have you seen that? They're asking for communications between the two. Jack Smith was the guy pressing charges on Trump in New York, and Fani and Georgia.
Yeah, I think something like that came out in the trial.
That there was some work between the two of them that was unethical.
Man, I don't know that there's some hint that she was being directed from the Biden administration.
And she denied, when they asked her about it, she denied that there was any comms, and now they're requesting for comms. And I guess her response was and she didn't respond to it. And the 30 days passed that she had to respond to it. And I guess what she's saying now is, well, the requests were done improperly.
And they're racist.
Well, it's always racist.
She's a piece of work.
Pat Lang, I'm so tired of people saying public schools are the problem. It's the fucking parents doing a lousy job. Has nothing to do with their third grade teachers. Pat, the only place I would like maybe walk it back, of course they're both at fault, but don't forget the teachers' unions are completely corrupt. They're for the teachers even at the cost of the kids. Don't forget what happened in COVID. And to me, teachers' unions and teachers are synonymous. I just make it's one. They fought to keep the schools closed while the private schools and the private school teachers were open. It is the teachers. It doesn't that I'm not excluding the parents, but
I'm in somewhat in agreement with them.
Go on.
Well, I think the public schools are a reflection of the public.
Okay.
There's the side that just lost this presidential election would end up teaching where I would need to do more erasing than allowing to stand pat. I don't want to take my kids down the 2 + 2 = 5. Daddy has a vagina fucking road.
I think I heard something like 87% of the teachers in the public school system are libtards. Or the 2 + 2 = 5 crowd.
Of course they are. Of course they
are. Every kid is different. I knew plenty of kids who went to public school sorry. I went to public school. I can't read this. I mean, I'm not suggesting that every kid who goes into public school and comes out is a fucking shitbag. I mean, fucking probably 99% of us went to public school.
are. What I'm saying is that given the opportunity to opt out, what a glorious, wonderful opportunity it is. And from that perspective, you look into what was going on, and it makes it even more wonderful. It's a 9-hour day of learning it at a third of the rate that could be done in 2 hours a day.
Right. Right.
And I blame the parents, I blame the teachers, I blame the structure, I blame the size of the classroom. There's a lot of things to blame, but it's easier to opt out.
This is the first sincere thing I've seen Jake Chapman ever write. Pat's role here is vital. Whether you agree with him or not, it's important to have different takes. Damn, look at you, Jake. Being a teacher and liberal does not equate to being a person trying to indoctrinate a kid. It's just not like that, no matter what the right wing wants you to think. There is a majority of this group that falls into this pattern, whether they agree with it or not, that 2 + 2 is 5, or that all white people are racist. They don't stand up to that, Pat. They allow it to happen. They're cowards. They want to fit in. They swim in the direction of the school at all times. School, like school of fish.
I believe that large chunks of the left's considerations for how the world works and operate are no less than fictional biases, and they don't see them as that. And I don't want to be confrontational, but I would imagine that most teachers feel very, very comfortable teaching anthropogenic climate change, that man is wrecking the environment and there's something we can do to save it. And I think that's just assumed, a given. And it's patently false.
I've been listening to a ton of public radio and like FM and AM radio all throughout Santa Cruz in the last 6 months, and every story about the environment starts with the story won't make any sense to you unless you come to it with the presupposition that man is destroying the planet by driving cars. You have to believe that, or else the story and they don't even, and everyone does, right? You just buy it hook, line, and sinker. People just they just start there.
Yeah.
Every story starts there.
Convinced they don't have a bias.
It's an intellectual barricade. Yeah, exactly. It's an intellectual barricade around anything outside of their purview or ability to think.
The right, the left rather, puts government in a place that very many on the right put only their God. And you're going to get as far suggesting to a liberal that rent control creates slums and giveaways create poverty, and handing out needles creates more homeless. I don't know, whatever it is. To even suggest anything like that is like trying to talk very many right-wing people out of their Christianity or belief in Jesus Christ. It's going to fall on deaf ears and raise fear and anger, and so the right has its God, whether it's of Judeo-Christian origins or not, typically so. And the left has this belief in the government being the source of good things and the protector of all people. And what's needed is another government program. My dad pointed out to me all the times that Obama would make sure in a State of the Union address, he made sure like 200 different things. And everyone cheered. He said, "We're going to make sure, and then like, what? Just say something good. Making sure. And what does it come out with? You get fucking hyperinflation and the brink of World War III. I mean, what's Joe doing for us? As corrupt a man as ever been in American politics. And he's a direct descendant of the Richard Daley machine from which Obama comes.
Who?
Richard Daley?
No, who is the direct descendant?
Biden.
Oh, right. I don't know who Richard Daley is.
He was the mayor of Chicago.
Oh, right.
And he's a kingmaker.
54th mayor of Chicago. He had a massive heart attack at 74.
Anything on him and his corrupt machine?
Not on the first page. I haven't clicked anything. I bet you if I click something, just corrupt as shit.
Yeah. Chicago style.
I'm not saying there's not teachers that try to indoctrinate kids. I'm just saying it's like good cop, bad cop argument. 99% are good. I'm not talking about whether they're good or not. I'm telling you though, they are 99.9% indoctrinating kids and putting an intellectual barricade around them, pointing them in the direction. They're already studying, the habits of fleas on the back of Sasquatch's back with the presupposition that Sasquatch exists, and it's everywhere. White man is bad. That's just, they want that just to be accepted so that you're not even allowed publicly, Pat, to look back and say, is your premise before we figure out what we're going to do if white man is bad, they're already onto what the solution is. And you can never look back and question the premise. That whole education system is built on that, Pat. It's all built on premises, and then they build from there. They never let you look back at the premise. It's the way it is. I'm not suggesting they're bad people. I'm suggesting they're fucking stupid. And they themselves are indoctrinated. And it's the same thing. Greg has pointed that out in oncology. Trillions of dollars being spent to search for the cure for cancer, built on one premise, and the other premise that a guy fucking won a Nobel Prize for in the 40s is fucking just completely ignored. And a matter of fact, you'll go to jail if you try to give solutions saying that that's the way. Go to jail. So, and
you can fund effective cancer treatments conducted in foreign country, done all under U.S. watch, legitimate work, and you just can't talk about it.
That was the guy. I had a guy on the show, a triathlete from, I want to say, Norway, and he was injured by the vaccine, and he could get work done in the United States to help him, but he just wasn't allowed to talk about it, or else he'd be in trouble with his government. Afterwards, when we got off, he's like, I couldn't tell you this, and this. Yeah, Dan Guerrero, 2 + 2 is 4 and not 5 is some serious tinfoil hat talk. I agree. Crazy. And listen, Greg lived in fucking the Hive. He lived in LA and went to public school there, and you can come out and you can come out okay.
The liberalism that you're talking about is the kind of ethos behind the political and social climate of Santa Cruz, and it's really no less than a human tragedy, and it creates and brews and steeps its own mental illness.
Talking to my athletes in Iowa, none of that was part of their school experience. I'm grateful for it. They don't even, first of all, they don't even know. And Iowa, Des Moines is like one of the, I guarantee you in Des Moines, they're teaching gender ideology, critical race theory. Like you can't, I wish you could say that about all of Iowa, but you cannot. Anywhere there's these people, I don't know why you guys want to, I don't know why there's people in there who want to deny it. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It's not. Caller, hi. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, this is a bit of a change of subject.
Sorry. We like to stay very focused on one subject. No change in subject here.
A question for both of you. So my dad in a few weeks is going to have a kidney transplant. He's actually going to receive the kidney from my mom. And I was there. There's not much of a protocol that they give for diet and just lifestyle in general after the surgery. But what is there is like high on carbs. It's just stuff that we see through. And my parents are not CrossFitters, and they don't follow any sort of protocol like CrossFit necessarily. And they're not super strict with their nutrition, but they even see that protocol that's listed is pretty outdated. And I was just wondering if you guys had any resources where there could be some compilation of good information specifically for kidney transplants. In my head, it can't be much different than what's good for a person without a kidney transplant.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if there's anybody. Yeah.
Here's my experience. The kidney transplant patients self-identified and were told by their doctors that they were on protein-restricted diets, and the protein limitations were in excess of what I was asking from the zone.
Say that one more time, Greg.
The kidney transplant patients that were sent to me were on, by self-reporting and physicians report, on protein-restricted diets, okay, to minimize the load on the kidneys. Those minimums, those maximum amounts were that they weren't to exceed, were in excess of what I was looking for in a 3-block meal for someone, doing the zone.
Okay.
And so I was like, really? Okay, I got it. And I think I don't remember the numbers, but consistent with the quality of my memory on the subject, it might have been something like 30 grams at a sitting. And I'm like, that is not a problem.
What are they telling them? What did anything stand out in specific that you
What are the
saw?
numbers?
Did you know anything the doctors told them, or the guidelines you can say here that you were like, ooh, that doesn't look good?
No, I don't remember specifics. I just remember I looked at it briefly, but my mom said it's just really high on carbs. And yeah, that I don't know if that didn't add up to me.
You know what's crazy is you type into Google, what should you eat? And the AI basically says eat protein with each meal. But then you scroll down and it says don't eat meat. God, Google is such a mess.
Yeah,
So
what's this little thing saying?
This one, nutrition after kidney transplant. This is from the University of California, Davis. In the first 2 months after transplant, you need more protein to heal from surgery and fight infection. Protein-rich foods include meats, poultry, fish, low-fat or non-fat milk. I wouldn't do that. Eggs, egg substitutes, beans, peas, nuts, tofu, and other soy foods.
In other words, a regular diet.
Yeah. Hey, it sounds like it's a chance for them just to get their diet really tight, doesn't it? Have a steak and a side of broccoli and an apple with every meal. Half an apple.
Yeah.
And then go for a walk.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be ideal.
Hey, why the limit of sodium? The sodium's not good for why do they say that about the kidney? What's their logic? Everywhere it says no sodium, no sodium.
Yeah, well, if your blood sugar's high under the influence of insulin, the aldosterone's role in regulating sodium hold or excretion is limited, and so you get hypertensive, and you don't want that with you don't want high blood pressure with your new kidneys.
So basically, you're saying if you eat sugar, the mechanism that allows you to process salt gets all jacked up.
It does. Sodium retention becomes a problem with chronically elevated blood sugar. You don't have that problem at euglycemia, so you quit eating all the frickin' shit that raises your blood sugar. You stop that, and all of a sudden your pee becomes salty. The sodium gets dumped. And in fact, we see this orthostatic hypotension in people that will suddenly and dramatically cut their carbohydrate intake. They get off the toilet in the middle of the night and get dizzy and pass out, actually hypotensive, low blood pressure.
Hey, keep me posted on how that works. Hey, what happened to your dad's kidney?
He's been in poor health for a while, and diabetes and kidney disease, overweight, hypertension, all that. And but what they think caused a sharp decline a couple years ago, because his kidney markers still, they weren't superb, but they weren't awful. And there was a sharp decline 1 month, and they think it was kind of irreparable damage caused by kidney stones. And then he was just never able to bounce back from that, his kidney function at least. So they got like a port in his stomach in case he needs to go on dialysis real quick. But his mom died after going off of dialysis just because it was too much to go through. And so they were looking for other options, and kidney transplant, and my mom ended up being a match. And yeah, they're going for it.
Hey, do you and I mean, I'm asking this, I'm not saying this as a fact, like, will your mom or someone have a hard talk with them, like, hey, asshole, I'm giving you my fucking kidney, time to tighten up your shit, like, no more fucking around?
Yeah, my brother and I both, when we were kind of talking about the possibilities of family, we're like, yeah, I mean, we're all for it as long as it isn't crazy damaging to my mom. Like, she still has the prospect of a long life, and you guys want to do that, but don't squander the gift. Like, this is crazy. Like, you're literally living off of a donation from your wife. So don't squander it. You got to shape up. But there have been enough alarm bells before that haven't really initiated any change. So we're kind of at that point where we don't know if we don't know how to get him to shit. Like, something's got to change inside him. He's a crazy disciplined man in every regard except his physical health.
What's his weakness? Not, I mean, literally,
like what food? Like what food?
Yeah. Describe his relationship with sugar to me.
Oh gosh. I mean, they have, both of them have just super irregular eating patterns. Like, my mom's healthy, but she'll eat one big meal a day and then just snacks on stuff. And it used to be snack on like candy for the rest of the day, but she's really regimented with exercise, whatever. She doesn't have at least poor health markers right now or anything like that. Like, she's in good shape. He's similar in that it's just, there's no 3 meals a day. There's no regularity to it. But also, yeah, it's like, if we would, as a family, like growing up, if they would change diet stuff, he would hide, packs of nerds in his office and have some candy behind somebody's back. Like, he could never just cut out fully some of that stuff. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not really limited to sweets, but I mean, there is a heavy presence of sweets.
Yeah.
The jellies and like I said, the nerds and the whatever, the sweet ropes, like all that kind of stuff. And then, so like tart candy. And then, but he's also really like, I don't know, vinegary, salty stuff too. Yeah, but it's been a lifelong thing. He's never had a really good, clean relationship with food.
He's gonna have to do rehab. You know what I mean by that? It's gonna be like, there's gonna be a tough week. There's gonna be a tough week for him.
It's an addiction. Like,
yeah.
And I in my head, I'm like, this is clearly an addiction. It should be treated like an addiction. Like, you have to give control to somebody outside yourself, because you've proven where it goes when you have the control. And even the most severe alarm bells don't change anything.
I hate to say it, but I feel like in that situation, someone has to be kidnapped and put out and taken out to a tent in the middle of fucking nowhere and been like, and then you just drop off a paper bag with what they can eat every day. And then after a week, they're over it. And then you could bring them back. The good news is it can go away pretty quick. But the fucking first 3 days, I mean, if you have a refrigerator in your house and a 7-Eleven within walking distance, you're fucked.
Sevi, I'd like to get in front of an audience of psychiatrists and tell them that diabetes is a psychiatric disorder. Type
Yeah.
2, please. Type
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, I mean that's what. Hey, dude, that's what you're describing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
who
Yep.
eats nerds, dude? Nerds. I only see those on that's like being addicted to pop rocks. I mean, that's just that. What a. Yeah, that can't be. That's like.
I think we watched Ronald Reagan create his Alzheimer's with Jelly Belly.
Yeah, his fascination with the Oakland made Jelly Bellies. I remember that.
Yeah, I heard the consumptive rate was a pound a day.
Wow. And then look at Biden. Every time you see him, he's eating ice cream. How much Jelly Bellies did Reagan eat? Man, that's crazy. What a crazy addiction to have Jelly Bellies. I wonder if he had a favorite.
I was just wondering that too. I would think you'd have to like them all.
3.5 tons of red, white, and blue Jelly Bellies were shipped to Washington, D.C. for the 1981 inaugural festival. Dude, that's 7,000 pounds of Jelly Bellies. There was a jar with the presidential seal on it. Wow. That's amazing. They must have had a serious run. Oh, here we go. How many Jelly Bellies did Reagan eat? Let me see. Reagan, during which time he went through 24 1-pound bags a month.
I'm close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was governor of California, he ate approximately 10,200 beans a month. Holy shit, listen to this. 300,000 Jelly Bellies, that's 720 pounds, were delivered to the White House every month during his presidency. Dude, what do they bring those on a pallet, dude?
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh my God. So, dude, he wow. That's amazing.
You think it has anything to do with the Alzheimer's?
Yes.
Through what mechanism? Glycation?
Yes.
The covalently bonding of sugars to essential protein structures and fats? That wouldn't happen.
I wonder how much is a pound
It's
of...
weird that there's AGEs, glycated end products, in the brain of the Alzheimer's people, isn't it?
There's a what?
How would that glycation happen? There's advanced glycated end products. It's one of the only kind of clinical diagnostic, findings on postmortem. They have sugar covalently bonded to essential proteins. Permanently so.
In what? In Alzheimer's?
Yeah, in the brains of people that have passed on from Alzheimer's. In fact, there's your official diagnosis. After you die, we pop your brain out, thin slice it, and we see these entanglements.
It's a $2,100 a month habit. It's crazy. It's like a blow habit. Hey, keep us posted on the transplant, please.
Yeah,
For sure. Thank you guys for
get them off the sugar.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh,
Greg, if I could. What's that?
All of it, brother.
Yep. 100% total overhaul.
Yep.
If I could, but before I leave, I'll leave in 1 sec. There's Greg, some of your quotes from Broken Science about how science can't intersect with, or it can't extend to the realms of ethics and policy. it reminds me of this Galileo quote from one of his books called Two New Sciences,
Yes.
where he's kind of doing a form of physics before it was called physics, and it's, you know, three Italian blokes just kind of shooting the shit about physics.
Yeah.
And one of them ventures into like a theological assertion, and then one character responds with this metaphor: I feel no repugnance to that same belief, but such profound contemplations belong to doctrines much higher than ours, and we must be content to remain the less worthy artificers who discover and extract from quarries that marble in which industrious sculptors later cause marvelous figures to appear, that were lying hidden under those rough and formless exteriors. But I just love that metaphor of the scientists gather the marble from the quarries, and the theologians and philosophers and policymakers, they all carve stuff out of it. But that's not what we're doing.
Fauci needed to hear that.
I'm reminded of two things. One is Walt Whitman's The Learned Astronomer, where basically this guy's listening to the astronomer talk, and he can't even handle it late at night, and he just gets married, leaves, and then wonders at the stars. But it's a brilliant poem. But I've got a quote here on prediction pulled from some of my father's stuff, and you reminded me of this. And it's: science can be neither theological nor atheistic until someone can develop a model with theological hypotheses, use it to predict and validate the results. Science is secular and needs a secular definition. How powerful is that? It can be neither theological nor atheistic until someone can develop a model with theological hypotheses, use it to predict and validate the results. And that ain't going to happen.
Wow. And that's your dad? He wrote that?
Yeah.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah, it's powerful. He says the contradiction between religion and science lives in the minds of people that don't seem to understand what science is.
Wow.
Hey, where would I find that quote that you said? Just go back and I should just go back and listen to it and type in a bunch of words into Google, or is there a specific place you'd point me?
For the one
The Galileo quote?
Oh, the Galileo one.
It's yeah, you could type in maybe some stuff. It's in his book called Two New Sciences.
Okay, that's
and
good.
they're good. Yeah. You could look up like maybe
I'll just go back and
something.
listen to it and
yeah,
and check it out. All right.
That Whitman poem too. That's one of my favorites. That's an excellent poem. So, well, thank you guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Brother.
All right, later. Yeah. Jake Chapman, life's a bitch and then you die.
What else?
Oh, yeah. Don't call a paragraph a quote either. Unions don't give a fuck about teachers. My wife was runner-up for Teacher of the Year in Iowa this year. She's never wanted to quit more. It sounds like she can think for herself.
Isn't that interesting? Runner-up for Teacher of the Year has never wanted to quit more.
Yeah.
Teachers unions don't give a fuck about the teachers. And more importantly, about the students, perhaps.
That's what I was thinking. Is this a quote from some poem? Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look at me.
You know that song.
Who's the artist?
Was it the Eagles or something? I can hear it.
I know this one. There once was a man from Nantucket.
It's the Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
I was never a fan.
Too poppy?
I think I was already kind of over in the direction of KROQ and probably was more interested in The Cure. It's a weird thing. There was a big split in the kind of, I think it started in LA, it seemed, at least in the States, right?
Was it rock and new age rock? Were those the two genres?
No, it was the alternative format. And so instead of Boston, Kansas, Journey, Foreigner, Styx, and Blue Oyster Cult,
Mhm.
and all the hair bands, it was the weird British scene, you know, and the Ramones and U2. There was a time, you know, there's a documentary out that
Oh, it's out?
yeah, I don't know, but I'm one of the executive producers.
Oh, you're gonna love this next question.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this. This is now you're speaking Greg's love language. Boy, oh boy, here we go. Ask Greg if he's heard of Japanese chalk.
Hagoromo. Here, hold on.
Greg it's crazy. Well, Portnoy's a connoisseur of pizza, and so is Greg. Greg has tried so many chalks, and I'll never forget when he found the Japanese chalk.
I think it's made in Korea now.
Reagan ordered 7,000 pounds of jelly beans. Greg ordered 7,000 pounds.
Look, here's just the yellow.
Yeah,
Hagoromo.
that is so funny. Yes.
And I got the colored, I got it all.
I don't know if you can say that. Oh, I haven't heard this one. There once was a mouse called Keith who circumcised boys with his teeth. It wasn't for leisure or sexual pleasure, but to get the cheese underneath. Wow. I'd never heard that one. That is disgusting.
Yeah, the whole thing, the whole show just deteriorated.
Will Stefan get an honorary broken science level 1? It's good you guys bring this up. So many people now are texting me and DMing me about this Jan 11-12 thing. I promise you this won't be the last one. And I'm doing my best. I don't even know how many seats are going to be available.
Yeah, you know, and this is just for me I just want to see if I believe it can really be done. I think it can. And the problem is this, I want to express the profundity of what I think I am seeing and put together, but it's got to be entertaining and accessible. But I think I can do it. I feel confident of that. So I might be the right person for it because this has come to me incubated over maybe my entire lifetime, from the push and thrust of my father's position on science to, with great reluctancy, finally reading David Stove to take in its entirety what the university thought of science, and then my own struggles as CEO of CrossFit within the federal and state courts over science with the university, and then on what retiring / being canceled, getting to double down and study in tremendous detail. I mean, I got these 3 books of Stove that it took me 5 years to get through the 3 of them maybe, and then the second go around 2.5 years, and the third, and now I can read them just for like sport. And it's an extremely rich vein. And the essence of it is that academic philosophy of science is utter and complete bullshit. It's as bad as the Marxism that's being taught. Mindless nonsense, worse. It's provably wrong. And the toxic allure of certainty that academic philosophy of science has succumbed to led directly to the delay, not in the development of advanced inference schemes that optimally manage uncertainty, but delayed their recognition. And so everyone's blindsided by this fucking AI revolution. I'm going to tell you what AI revolution is. It's about not being stupid in the manner that the university teaches and thinks and has preached science. It's like my side is one. That's why we have AI. It's guys like Janes. The Bayesians' notion of inference is to conduct science, the frequentists are practicing statistics. When you're looking at the probability of data, assuming a hypothesis, you're doing statistics. When you talk about the probability of the hypothesis, given the data, you're talking about science.
Which seems so obvious to me.
Part of what's made all of this hard, and I'm pretty much an expert on the whole body of literature as to what's not right with science, both at a popular and a technical level. And one of the things that's complicated the discussion as to what is the exact manner of broken science is to not have a concise, workable, high utility definition of science that does work and what that looks like. And that's part of one of the bonuses. That's in fact, after the introduction, the first lecture is what is science, and I'm asking you accept it or not. It's easy to wrap yourself around it, grab it, and then we're going to drag it through some classical issues of inference, of statistics, of probability, of demarcation, of inference, and see what enormous utility it has and how it settles these things almost in a beautiful fashion. So the power and the strength and the goodness, if you will, of a definition, because they really don't have those kind of flavors, but they do have the quality of utility, trueness, contributing to a predictive science. And unless this thing is shitty, I'm not going to do it again. And if it plays out nicely, I think we'll do a bunch of them, because I think it's a worthwhile thing. I think I can set someone on the path and plan for a course of accessible and entertaining and in a kind of an exciting profundity. I think I can give someone a path and plan to put themselves in a position where they'll have acute sense of when another man is talking rot, which is what is it, John Alexander Smith? Is that the name? It's a great line. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Only because you've told me.
The primary, if not the sole purpose of an education was to detect when a man was speaking rot. So I'm glad there's interest. This has been a long time in the brewing. In fact, the material that I want to write for it's going to be kind of like the level one. There was a seminar, and it evolved to the point of I didn't want it to change anymore, and through which a trainer's manual was born, and you can call that the book. The push was always to write the book, and it was funny because people said, you should write a book, you should write a book, you should write a book. And instead, what I did was I created a seminar, refined it so that it got across exactly what I wanted. The notes to accompany that became the training manual, and there you have the book. But doing it the way we did it, it was a $1 billion product over the years.
This is going to be a tough question here. So 5 lectures one day, 5 lectures the next day, approximately an hour long each.
Sebby, 30 minutes, 20 of Q&A, and go pee.
Okay, I like that. The peeing part's good. And so here's the deal. I know you're not supposed to ask a fighter right after he wins the championship, wins his next fight. Let's say you win the fight, you knock the guy out. When will you fight again? Because people want to come watch you fight.
It would be a disadvantage to me to go longer than say a month or so.
Okay.
I should be able to,
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
So
and I want to offer this too, and this is just how what an act of just pure hobby or just intellectual compulsion. But I have but one standard for success, and it wouldn't be applause or, oh my God, that was amazing, or the number of tacos eaten, none of that. Whether you hated or loved it, what I'd like to hear is 2 years ago, I sat there for a weekend. I got to tell you, I just don't look at science the same anymore. And since then, blah, 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 that kind of thing.
Right.
I'm really hoping that it can be something like your first CrossFit seminar. And that was the first step of a journey, or I wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
And I think I've got a handful of easy pieces that are kind of permanently affect the way you look at things. And one last thing, and then because I don't want to, I don't want anyone to have to hear this shit that doesn't want to hear it. But I think that I don't think there's going to be a fix to the replication crisis. Were there to be a fix, I think it could be done like this, and it would require a revamping of primary education starting in the 4th grade. And just one simple thing. My 4th graders understand the difference between the probability of it raining if it's cloudy versus the probability of it being cloudy given that it's raining. They readily get that. Okay. Right? Does anyone see that? If it's cloudy out, is it going to rain? Maybe, maybe not. If it's raining, is it cloudy? Very likely, right? They're different things. And there's a lot of ways you can show that. There's one where you can just see it. But if I could sensitize people to the importance of that distinction, it's amazing how many problems that plague us in criminal justice, in science, come about through that fucking confusion. I'll name 2, the prosecutor's fallacy and the fucking confusion over p-values. Those are both instances of that transposed conditional confusion. The probability of A given B being confused for the probability of B given A. Mm-hmm. And I can start 4th graders to that understanding, show them Kolmogorov depictions of the probability space. It's really a neat thing to see. There's no 10-year-old that's going to go, what the fuck are you doing? It isn't like that.
That doesn't mean kids are invited to the event.
If there are kids here, we'll have help and we'll do something next door.
Right.
At the guest house. Hey, they're digging the hole right now, Sevi. I got this giant.
Please send me pictures and send me pictures of the gym and all that shit.
I will. Okay, bye, everyone. I love y'all.
All right. Love you too, Greg. I will see you. Well, I'll talk to you later on today, but I'll see you Friday.
I'm excited. I wish I was even thinking of hitting Haley. I'm going, hey, I'll have Mike fly me up there and I'll fly out with you if we could get 2 seats in first. But
all right. I would like that.
Getting a bit much.
Okay.
Sick of flying.
All right. See you soon, buddy.
Bye, bud.
Bye. That last bit needs to be clipped. That was insane. I remember when he owned CrossFit and he was going to I remember the ideas early on. I need to ask him about this when he was thinking about he did What is Fitness, and there was a lot of talk between him and myself and Brian Mulvaney. Maybe it was even Brian's idea, but wanted Greg to write What is Science. I remember that. Oh, that was Brad calling. I didn't know that. I knew that caller. He's the guy that makes the thumbnails for the Sevon Podcast YouTube station. That's awesome. Someone just sent me 25 new laws coming to California in 2025. None of it even matters. None of it even fucking matters because they don't enforce any of the laws here. Listen to this law. Senate-elect Tim Grayson's Democrat of Concord prohibits state chartered banks from fining customers when they try to withdraw money but have insufficient funds in their account. So there was a penalty if you tried to pull money out and you had insufficient funds and they're taking that away. I don't know that. Why would you do that? How about this one? Credit bureaus are prohibited to adjust people's credit reports based on medical debt that's incurred by medical expenses, medical debt. You can't be penalized for assessing necessary health care. To avoid penalizing people for assessing necessary health care. So they don't want you not using your credit card. The logic is like, hey, don't use your credit card and get debt. Or you might not, let's say you needed some sort of surgery or some sort of medical attention, but you didn't want to fuck your credit card debt up. So you wouldn't use it. So they think by changing this law, people will be more likely to feel comfortable using their credit card to pay for medical procedures. God, California is fucked up. I saw some crazy law the other day that basically if someone, I couldn't even fucking get my head wrapped around it. I couldn't even understand it. They were basically saying if someone in your family is a victim, I don't even know what that means as a victim, that you can request sick days off from your employer. It's like if like someone called me fat and that hurt my feelings, my wife could then take sick days. Did you guys watch John Woolley's video? What's it called? Grudge Match? I don't know if there's anything else I need to say. That video completely just proves my point. Nothing is said, completely wishy-washy. The comments are amazing. The comments are just people just talking about what a douche I am. He doesn't say anything. He goes back and forth between saying Chase was right and Chase was wrong and Chase was right and Chase was wrong. He just goes back and forth. I know. He did credit for taking the high road. Jesus Christ, dude. Let me tell you something. If there was a burning building, the last thing you would want would be that guy there to fucking make a decision about whether to run in and save your kids or some shit. It is so bad. And the fact that he denies what he was doing in that post is unbelievable to me. He even admits it at the end. He doesn't even know he admitted it. Basically, it goes like this. Chase said something on his own podcast or somewhere blasting people for people who hate on CrossFit. Like people who openly say disparaging shit to hurt the business of CrossFit. What would that be? Don't reaffiliate. Don't sign up for the open. Like, it's pretty obvious. If someone was outside your house, if someone was throwing eggs at your house and you told them to leave, that's all that Chase was saying. Like, hey, dude, if you're trying to hurt the business here, just leave. That's what he said. Fuck off and leave. So on one hand, John Woolley's like, we need more of that. And then, but he also says, but that wasn't appropriate. And it's like, dude, how do you do both? But the part that was fucked up, the part that makes John Woolley just a horrendous weasel, besides the fact that he openly lied in that video, and it's just an aggregation of the morons. He made a post basically saying that Chase's words are approved and certified by CrossFit HQ. When he absolutely knew they weren't. And he admits that in the end of the video because he says we need more of that from HQ. He knows that HQ would never do that. There's no one there in private equity that has any backbone to stand up against anything. So he admits that he knows that that's not approved by HQ, but he says that's 100% approved by HQ because he wants to try to draw Dawn out to chastise Chase. I mean, it's like so obvious, and he admits it in the video. So I don't even know, like I thought, should I watch it and play it? Should I called Hiller. I'm like, what do you think? He's like, you could just go back and forth forever. I'm like, I know. Fuck it. Whatever. He didn't even, it just sucks that he didn't even say anything. I wish he would have been like, I just wish he would have like stuck to the argument. He even played the clips that I said so that everyone could see what a fucking jackass he is. And there's still people in the comments who are like, great job. Very well balanced. Well balanced. You know what they used to do? Anytime they wrote an article about CrossFit, so I don't know if this is journalism school or what, but in journalism, when I don't know if they still do it, but when I used to read articles, you know, when I was a kid from fucking, I don't know, 5th grade to 30 years old, I used to, or maybe even 40 years old, I used to read the New York Times every day. There was a formula to all the articles. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Barry. Put on the glasses. There was a formula to all the articles. So you would have to write an article, and every article would be like, picking up poop is good. If your dog poops, you should pick up your dog's poop. And then it would list all these, and the article would go on for 3 paragraphs. The state that has the most poop picking up is Illinois. They pick up more poop than anyone else and have the cleanest sidewalks. And then there always had to be, as a requisite, before the article would be published, there had to be 2 paragraphs of dissension, like an opinion that's the opposite. So then the article would say, but let's not forget that also in Illinois, we have the largest amount of parasites living in people's guts, and people believe that's connected to the fact that they pick up dog poop. And they would have to put that in there, or else the article wouldn't get published. It just had to be in there. Yeah, fair and balanced. And it just gets so fucking retarded after a while. You're just like, it's like the argument of like more abuse at home because if you do homeschooling, it's like, yeah, duh. It's like, if I sit on the toilet, the longer I sit on the toilet seat, the more often I'm going to shit. I mean, it's just, so for the longest time when they used to write articles about CrossFit, every single article, like whether New York Times, Washington Post, wherever they wrote it, they always had this, they had to have a negative part, and it was always the same two people that they got their negativity from, because there were only 2 people talking shit. It was Rob Wolf and Mark Ripito. So anytime you saw like any positive article about CrossFit, then it would have a quote from Mark Ripito or Rob Wolf. Like they had to put it in there. And that it's like that with Wooly. It's like it's bizarro world. I just want to ask all of those people, like, just some practical questions. Like, if you had to choose, if you were in a pinch, would you want me or Wooly as your friend? Like, just some things that might actually like sit in with libtards that just live in their feelings all day, and there's no practical thinking at all, no logical thinking. I'm okay with presenting both sides, but then if you're going to do that, then you better say, well, that's just bullshit. That one side's just bullshit. I like friends who can think for themselves. Yeah, me too. I wouldn't trust Wooly with my kids, but wouldn't trust Sevi with my girlfriend. Send me a photo. Boy, this thing at Greg's house is going to be trippy. I think there's going to be some really big names there. Please, no one get upset if I can't, like, I don't know what my powers be. I want to invite all of you so all of you think I'm cool. You know what I mean? I want to be like, yeah, of course, you know me, you can come. I'm cool. I can get you shit. I want to. I want to be like, oh my God, you guys have all been so fucking good to me, so loyal to the show. You always listen to Greg. Like, I want to. I want you all to come. There's maybe there's a like, for the people who hate me out there, if you're listening to the show and you're like, why would anyone listen to this guy? Or maybe you're, at the end of the day, even if you don't disagree with me, you're not afraid of sincerity. I'm not ever on here being insincere. I'm being facetious sometimes, sarcastic, but it's still sincere. I'm trying to give it up to you guys. I enjoy giving it up. I'm not doing it for you. I enjoy it. It's fun. Let it out. Tap into the fucking channel the fucking chaos inside and let it come out and it be funny. And I listened to his video. I'm like, God, this is just such unsincere shit. Conflation, wobbly logic. But he seems nice. But he seems very nice. He seems very nice. John Woolley seems very, 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 very nice. Like make a great fucking bus driver. Oh God, that was so fun. I went, that was, hey dude, I'm not even bullshitting you. That was some of the most, I hate going to dinner with new people, especially when I'm with Greg, because I just want to hang out with them and get my swerve on and just say hear the funniest shit, like just talk about the funniest shit. But when you and your brother and your son came, that was crazy. That was so fun. That was so fun. That was awesome. That was so fun. I had so much fun with you guys. What a cool family you are. You guys inspired me. What a great family you have. All right. Wednesday, I could hang out with you guys forever, but I want to go do shit inside. I'm going to go inside now and get hugged. Well, when I say that, that means I'm going to be on for another 30 minutes. Is that the rule? If you haven't seen that Tucker Carlson clip, it's on his Instagram. If you're a pussy like me, it'll freak you out. He basically says in that clip that we're on the brink of World War III and that fucking the two countries aren't talking. Yeah, people just want sincere conversation. That's it. And so you could be like, you could be like, hey, Sevon's a dick, or he gets so upset, or whatever. He doesn't have tact, or he's crass. Okay. But I do my best to make it. I don't even know if I do my best. It's sincere and logical. This is fun. What if this is true? This is so fun. What let me show you this clip. What if this is true? We should talk about this. I should have played. Damn, I wanted to play this when Greg was here. If this is true, this is awesome. Listen to this fucking drama. How does Fox get this stuff? Is this even true?
DNC advisor confirmed what we all suspected. Biden endorsed Kamala to tank the coup.
Do you agree that Obama and Pelosi did not want Harris?
I know they didn't. Obama and Pelosi were both hoping for a primary. instead of a coronation, so to speak. I do know that Obama was carefully vetting Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona. I know there were other names on his list. President Biden essentially preempted that by issuing his endorsement 30 minutes after he dropped out.
Biden's not the only one.
Do you remember that? So she dropped out. Biden endorsed her, and Obama didn't endorse her for weeks. And I guess they told Biden not to endorse her because they wanted to bring someone else in. But that was Biden's way of saying, fuck you, Nancy and Obama, for kicking me out. How crazy is that? That's so fun. That's like fucking, you say there's high school shit going on here. By the way, let me finish this, and then I want to ass pound some people.
Who's had enough of Barack? Radar Online is reporting that George Clooney is fuming that Obama tricked him into shivving Joe Biden with that little op-ed in the Times. George feels he stepped up and took a bullet for the team. And now everyone's complaining about the bloodbath. George became the face of the Hollywood liberals by directly calling for Biden to end his campaign and throwing the whole process into chaos. He thinks Obama should come forward and say that George did the right thing and isn't his fault that it didn't work out. But he doesn't expect that'll be forthcoming. And it's left George feeling like a patsy. A top DNC advisor confirmed what we all suspected. Biden endorsed Kamala to tank the coup.
Do you agree that Obama and Pelosi did not want Harris?
I know.
Dude, it's so good. And this lady right here is a Democrat who works for the DNC. I think I want to say I saw her in another interview. She said she raised $50 million herself for the DNC. And she said the spending there was completely out of control. Just complete, utter fucking mismanagement. And I don't know if I believe that. Like, listen, I don't know if spending $10 million on Beyonce is mismanagement. I don't know. I don't know what she charges. I don't know if spending $1.8 million on Eminem to endorse her is mismanagement. I really don't. But hey, dense updates. God, what she's like single-handedly carrying the Sevon podcast station now. Thank God for her. What a score we had having her participate. She made this video. It's the most recent one. Let me pull up this comment someone wrote. God, there's so many fucking crazy comments. Someone wrote, the price point of CrossFit is insane. What do you mean free? Did a shitload of you guys do it for free? Like I did it free for years. I just went to the website. What are people talking about? I've also paid fucking affiliate fees for years at different affiliates also. I get it. It's a fucking commitment, but you can do it for free. Okay, this is what someone wrote. Listen to this. Ready? Someone wrote this in the comments. I am a CrossFit fan. I've never done it, never been. You guys as a community do your best to push fans away from your sport. Not sure why. I watch all the major events. I don't know what they're talking about, but I don't know if you guys follow, if any of you follow any other sports. I know a bunch of you follow football and stuff. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, the drama is crazy. There are these 3 YouTube accounts, and they put out video at least once a day that's 10 minutes long. That's like Denise's stuff, dense updates. And I watch all 3 of them every single day. It's like Conor McGregor seen in a bar falling down. Kamaru Usman, is he a pussy for not fighting Hamzat Chimaev? It's like there's a UFC lawsuit goes into its 8th year. Former UFC champion dies of a heart attack. It's just like, are you kidding me? Drive people away. Listen, if anything, the stuff that's put out that's like this, that keeps you up to speed on just the social milieu, it is it only helps the games. It only helps the games. How about what Pat Vellner said yesterday? I'm paraphrasing. And I know Pat, so it sucks to just be just shitting in his fucking bowl of Cheerios all the time. He's been nothing but great to this show and to me. But there's two things that I just can't even fucking believe. One, basically, I'm paraphrasing. Watch the Coffee Pods and Wads interview. He basically says, "Hey, no one has to get heated. Everyone settle down. Like it's not as intense as, he's like, it's not a big deal. Like we can all work together. People can have different opinions. Motherfucker, you guys asked for the fucking firing of the founder and creator and the of the CrossFit Games, the face of CrossFit, and the only person with any fucking voice of sincerity or fucking authenticity who works at the fucking company. Tell me to fucking take it easy. You're fucking insane, dude. Yeah, it's no fucking big deal to you. And then the other thing that he said was nuts. He said, the people who are speaking on the topics of the things that go on at the games don't know what goes on in the back and don't know the experience of the elite CrossFitters. Then when Pedro pushed him and says, can you give me some examples? He said, no, we're not going to tell you any of the examples of the shit that goes on back there that's fucking bad, because the internet will tear those people apart. They don't owe to tell that story to anyone. Look, we've already lost a bunch of young girls who can't handle what's going on the internet. So wait a second. There's horrible. First of all, Pat, I talk about it all the time, and I have way more experience back there than you do. Way more. Way more. Different, but way more. Way more. That's the woke talk. It's really, really bad, but I can't tell you. So you fill in the blanks. Like, what's going on back there? Are people getting diddled? People are injured and a forklift picks them up and just throws them over the fence? You think Emily Rolfe thinks it's really, really bad when Sean Rocket saved her fucking life? It's just crazy. It's more of that stuff. We're putting stuff out there and then just letting people who just have an axe to grind and just want to hate fill in the blanks. You wouldn't believe what my wife did last night. It's really bad. I can't tell you, but you know. No one else would know more than me because I'm with her more than anyone else, but it's bad. And I would tell you, but I don't want to get criticism for it. Listen, imagine the stress, pick your athlete, that they've experienced in CrossFit versus Simone Biles. The pressure. I want to grow the sport. I don't want pressure, and I only want accolades. That conversation he had with Pedro, and then of course Pat is so nice and so well spoken that people in the comments are like, man, I really love Pat. Wow, that was really great. I wish we had more people like him who were calm and of sound mind. He didn't fucking say a fucking thing. My favorite was when he said, hey, he said, hey, Pat, so if you did do the CrossFit Games this year and you went to the Open, is there a chance you'd go to one of the semifinals or one of these open events like in Australia at Torian Pro, just since you can go anywhere you want now just to see and check it out and see what it's like? And Pat said, basically, no, I can't. I don't think so. I don't think my wife would like that. Let me explain something to you if you're not sure if you're a professional athlete or not. Here's the litmus test. If you have to ask your wife if you can go to a competition, you are not, or your husband, if you have to ask your husband or your wife to go to a competition, you are not a professional athlete. That's one of the litmus tests. That's it. That's one. If you can't handle what's being said on the internet, you don't want the sport to grow. Yeah. He was celebrating. He's like Wooly. He was celebrating the fact that he had. We knew that they were going to do the corporate playbook even before they did it. And one day on Monday they announced the information that was non-information about Lazar Jukic's death, and then a week later they announced the game stuff in order to drown out the news cycle. It's like, okay. Everyone said that. I have not bathed Greg. That is 100%. Sevi bathes Greg also. I would bathe him, but I have not bathed him. I've bathed other grown men. I've cleaned the dingleberries out of a fucking man's ass many times. Not many men. One man, but many times. I bet you is there just one of you who will stand up and tell me you have also bathed the dingleberries out of a man's ass? I didn't see it as gross. I saw it as like, hey, like this dude can't reach back there, and like I'd clean that out. I cleaned his ass like I want mine clean. Did you ask Haley if you could go play with Greg this weekend? No, I did not. But if she would have said no, if I told my wife I was going to do something and she said no, I wouldn't do it. I mean, she doesn't say that, so it's fucking pretty easy for me to say that. My wife chimes in, but I wonder if she thinks this, but I think I make all like anything. I think my wife probably makes more decisions in our life than I do, but God, I don't know if that's true. Whoever makes the decisions in mine and my wife's relationship, we always just go with it. You know what I mean? Like if she's like, hey, we're having hamburgers tonight, I'm not like, no, I want fish. Or if I'm like, hey, can we have fish tonight? She's like, sure. Or like my wife's like, hey, I want to go to Newport for my birthday and hang out with Sarah down there and hang out down there with all the kids. I'm like, sure. Or my wife's like, even before she was my wife, she was like, hey, I want a kid. And I was like, okay. So if I'm just like, hey, I'm going to basically what I told her was I said, hey, I got something crazy to tell you. She's like, what? I'm like, I'm going to spend $1,000 on 2 tickets to the 49ers game this weekend so I can go hang out with Travis and Tyson. Because Travis called me, Tyson Bajan's dad called me, and he's like, hey, come to the game. And I was like, so I'm going to go do that. I know it's crazy. And she said, okay. And so then then Greg asked, hey, will you come to Atlanta with me? I was like, okay. So I just told my wife I'm going. Because I live just down the street from the 49er game. I guess the Bears are playing the 49ers this weekend. It's like 2-hour drive for me. So I really just want to go just to hang out with, I would just love for Avi to see Tyson Bajan again and hang out with Travis. Travis is so funny. So that's how it works. It would drive me crazy if I had to discuss things with my wife. Like if I were like, hey, I'm going to the 49er game, it's gonna be $1,000, and she were to say to me, are you sure that's a good allocation of our resources? I would fucking I would go bonkers. No, let me tell you, I'm glad. Part of me is glad. I'm like, Greg will take care of me like I'm a fucking baby. He'll have a driver pick me up from my house, take me to the airport. He'll be at the airport. We'll go to the Four Seasons. He'll feed me. He'll pay for my hotel room, make sure I got the fast internet so I can do Kill Taylor on Saturday morning, do Jack de la Maddalena on Friday night. My amazing podcast on the Binge Bros, my new show with Andrew Hiller. If I'm missing a toothbrush, he'll buy me a toothbrush. So that's good. I like all that. So would I bathe them? Yeah, I'd bathe them. I got in trouble. But does she come back later and tell you something she's going to do and you'd normally say no to? No. There's never. That's a great question. First of all, there's two things that the only time I ever got kind of like I got a little slap on the wrist is I came home with a motorcycle once from the Harley dealership. And I got like a, hey, did you really need that? And then another time when we were living in a 400 square foot apartment, I tried to set a arm wrestling table up in the living room, and she said, hey, you can't do that. I did it for a little while anyway, and then she made me take it down. And when I mean a little while, I mean like 2 months. And that she was probably right. I mean, just sat there. I probably arm wrestled her like 10 times, and that's it. It never even got used. My wife and I never do ever, and so many couples I know do this, and it's crazy. They keep score. I do. That is that sounds like a very slippery slope. Do you know what I mean by keep score? I had the kids last Friday night when you went out with your friends. You need to watch them this Friday night so I can go out with my friends. Holy fuck. I do not know how couples do that. I never keep score. Ever, ever, ever. The question my wife and I will ask each other. So this is the question my wife will ask me because she knows it's important to me. So I'll be like, hey, it's 3:00 and I have to take the boys to swimming and then to tennis and then to jiu-jitsu. So I'm not going to be home till 7. And my wife will say to me, hey, have you worked out today yet? And I'll be like, no. And she'll be like, okay, I'll take the boys. And I'm like, no, it's cool. I'll work out when I get home. And she's like, no, work out now. It's okay. I already worked out. Or vice versa. She'll be like, hey, it's like Saturday and I'm taking the boys to the beach. And she'll be like, hey, I'm going to go with you to the beach, but I want to work out at 11 a.m. Do you care if I leave the beach for an hour? I'm like, yeah, fuck, do it. That's it. That's the only one. Keeping tabs and scores is the worst. Yeah. Like, hey, I want to spend every second with my kids. Like, I don't even care. I don't even care. The only thing I prioritize over my kids sometimes, and it's more and more as I get older, is sleep. Sometimes I just have to sleep in the middle of the day. I'm just done. I'm exhausted. My marriage is like that, Sevi. Only my husband puts the shopping cart away. And let me tell you something, Judy. He puts the shopping cart away when you're there. When you're not there, he ghost rides that shit from the fucking top of the parking lot in Home Depot and aims for the front door like any good man does and pushes it as hard as he can and watches that thing cruise 200 yards across the parking lot aiming for the front door. That's what real men do. That's what I do. And I've never made it. I've only hit cars in the parking lot when I do that. I'm 0-632 for ghost riding shopping carts 200 yards across the Home Depot parking lot, aiming for the front doors. The rest of you pussies put them away in the carts. I fucking push mine back into the facility. Well, I try to. Yeah, that's what straight guys do. Thank you. Thank you. That's straight guys. Gay guys push their shit into the fucking cart, into the corral. I put straight guys aim for the fucking door and launch that shit. Sometimes I put a $50 bill in there just for the damage it does to the car. Not what I meant, but okay. I know, buddy. Sometimes I just have to. I know, Ryan. Sometimes I just have to pull the. I have to edit so that I feel good about myself. Sometimes I have to delude myself. I know what you meant. But Barry McCockner, he don't even fuck around. No corrals, no front door. He just tries to pick off Mexicans as they exit Home Depot. Take that. Sevon, you're wrong. Gays actually literally try to push shit back in. Good point. Mr. Lang. So the show is on in my office, and 2 assistants just said this Sevy dude really doesn't put his card away. I'm trying to think if I really don't. It doesn't even matter to me. I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I mean, I never leave it in the spot, guys. I kick it up on the curb. Sometimes I take it back to the door. Sometimes I hand it off to some fat old lady that needs it to fucking lean on and get to the front. I just don't care. I just do what works for me. My kids are reaching that age where I can tell them, if it's close enough, I can tell them to put it back. I put the baskets away. I don't leave the baskets under the some people leave the baskets, and I'm okay with it. Under at the register, there's a spot like where you can tuck your basket. And at the gas station I shop at, it has a store. It has a store in there, and that shopping cart I always do put away. But I mean, it's just so. As you leave the store, I take my bags out of it and leave the shopping cart there. I'm not backpedaling. I ain't backpedaling. How cool would that be if Joe Biden really did just endorse Kamala 40 minutes? If that story's true, as soon as Pelosi and Obama told fucking Biden to beat it, he endorsed Kamala to fuck them. That is awesome. No, you don't leave your cart. Mr. Kevin, listen. It's okay until a stiff wind blows a cart into your car and leaves a dent in the door. I've never left a fucking cart just like out. You lean it on something. You kick the wheels up on the curb. You push it somewhere where it's like safe. Joe Biden doesn't return carts either. He rides in them. Oh, that would be amazing. Pat Lang, I think Biden is going to pardon Trump. That would be so gangster if he did that. I'd put some respect on his name if he did that. That would be crazy. How about Charlemagne? I was looking at Charlemagne the God the other day, and I was trying to figure out, is he a woman that used to be a man, or is he a man transitioning to a woman? What is going on with this dude's face? And now all of a sudden he's flipped the script and he's on Trump's dick. I'd love to put Jeremy World. I'd love to put the kibosh on the old cart talk. You're a douche. We get it. He looks very feminine to me. Yeah. Very feminine. Very, very feminine. I wonder what's going on with him. Eaton Beaver, Sevi, did you see the article about the United Healthcare CEO being killed, possible assassination? Yeah, Greg was saying that he thinks it's an assassination from the data he's picked up from it. Do you think I can go to a 4:30 class today? But if you're not feeling well, then I will take the boys to swim and jiu-jitsu. Oh, no, it's fine. I took 20,000 milligrams of vitamin C yesterday. shit my brains out. Oh shit. My wife just said I forgot to pay the cable bill this month and she got a text. Fuck. I should pay that right now. How am I always doing that? Oh. I've never paid my bills from this computer. I don't watch any porn or pay bills from the why do you have cable? You have to, in my area, you have to have cable to have the bill pay, make a payment. Okay, listen, I'll be back in 1 minute. I have to pee. I'm doing the pee dance. Which video should I show you?
I'm Christy Minato. I am a just recently coined 45-year-old. For over the past 8 years, I've kind of been struggling to find myself again. I was just kind of hitting that low of like not finding that happiness within myself that I've been looking for a long time. I just broke and I was just like, you know what? It's time to focus on me. I've been coming here now very consistently, watching my diet finally, and really starting to find myself again, find my groove again. And honestly, this gym has provided me such an outlet of positivity. It's provided me an outlet of finding myself laughing again and just like having fun with athletics. It's been such a long time. I really feel that that has helped me progress within this CrossFit gym. I have found friends for life. I've never felt so good about myself, my body image. So a lot more than just strength has come out of this. It's, you know, the growth of my mind and understanding that this is my body. God gave me a strong body. It's about damn time I tap into that and let the world see that I'm proud of it. I'm not going to hide behind big baggy clothes because my shoulders might be bigger than yours. It's just part of the game.
In my town, you have to where I'm at, you have to have the cable and the internet are like so connected, or however it is, to get the good internet you have to pay by your cable.
Hello, you've reached Haley. Leave a message. Thanks.
I don't fucking know which checking account is mine. I have to figure out, like, I don't know which account. She says I keep paying the bills from her account, but I don't. It says it looks like my account.
Okay. Hey.
Hi. I saw your text
Hi.
about the internet.
Oh, Xfinity?
Yeah. Which account is mine?
What do you mean?
Like, how do I know? Like, I want to send the payment right now, but how do I know which account is mine?
Oh, it says Sevon main checking.
Yeah, I never use those.
Well, how do you usually pay?
I just
What have you
use
been
this one that
using?
says
Mine?
it says just business relationship.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That is the one I pay
thought
from?
you were doing it. Yeah.
There's two of them. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
you
which
can
one.
use, yeah, no, it doesn't matter which one.
Okay.
Sorry, I totally spaced. Yeah, of course. You can
Okay.
use one of those.
Okay.
Whatever has the most money in it.
Okay. Okay, I'll pick that one then. Okay. I love you.
Okay.
Okay.
Love you.
Bye.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that's done. Fucking doing some domestic shit. I know I thought I was going to have to, and my wife has a crazy memory. I thought Jake Chapman says, what's the account number? I thought I was going to have to tell her like some of the numbers. What? Do you know which account is yours with you and your wife? Auto pay? I don't know. You know, that's probably smart. It just gives me like, you ever make a list of things to do and you put something on the list that's like so easy, like throw away your old toothbrush and open up a new one, and you put that on your list just so like you can cross something off that's easy to do. That's how I feel about paying the cable bill. Yeah, you only have one account. Yeah, that's probably smart. She keeps telling me like for the last couple of months, she's like, "Hey, by the way, you paid the gardener with my account. Hey, you did this with my account." I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't even. I'm 52. How do I not know what the fuck is going on? They're all. What happened is she linked all the accounts up, so now there's like all this shit to choose from. I don't even know what's what. I didn't know what was what before. All right. Anything else? Any other topics? Anything you'd like to discuss? Ask me anything. I'd like to open up and ask me anything. Let's do a show about me. I don't know why this DVD is sitting on my desk. Oh, you know what I was thinking about doing? I should tell Sousa this. Let's do one more call. Let's talk to Sousa really quick. I want to give away jars of Matuthine to anyone who participates in Kill Taylor, but it's what a pain in the ass that is. Who's on Glinton? Yeah, if I'm around, I'll watch Glinton.
You reach Matt, leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks. Have a great day.
I have a new guilty pleasure that I haven't really talked to you guys about yet. I'm a little embarrassed to tell you guys about it. It's a nighttime activity. I've been doing it like 30 minutes to an hour every day. And so I don't know if I'll watch Glinton because I'll probably be doing that activity. Oh. Taylor tearing into Coach L and his story. Let's see what Taylor's doing. God, Taylor, I always forget. I don't usually watch people's stories. I can't believe how much, and whenever I do, I'm always impressed with how much political stuff Taylor has.
Right thing for the wealthy.
This chick's got a crazy body. This chick was at Crash. If you don't follow her, probably worth following her, Morgan Porter. Shit, I didn't want to do that. I'm listening to these athletes who, oh yeah, that's reposting Denise's thing. COVID most likely leaked from Wuhan lab. Huge new tractor protest has been, God, Taylor's like me. Biden's presidency started with him denying the existence of Hunter's laptop and is ending with him pardoning Hunter for all the things found on the laptop. Yeah, that's crazy. Holy shit. Wow, that's a great one. Bureaucrats piling on more and more regulations. This is the best homegrown relief, spearmint. He rubs that on his taint. Oh, what's this?
The other month, when I was going after a particular athlete and Coach L,
Daniel Brandon,
of brute strength programming or training, I had a lot of people be like, oh, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with that athlete? What's the deal? Here's the fucking deal. This workout is a workout from the Imam Co. Great workout. Creds to Brandon Luckett. Smart dude, super fit. And then just go see the next slide. Here's the deal. Using another program's workout is cool. Taking a workout from .com, taking a workout from Imam Co., taking a workout from, Hiller, taking a workout from Chase Ingram, whatever, Kiefer. He's got some awesome workouts. That's great. Another guy I've taken a workout from is Mason Mitchell, Bryson's old coach at CrossFit Momentous.
Our very own Mason Mitchell getting some love. Worth plagiarizing.
Or current coach at CrossFit Momentous. That's awesome. But when you take a workout, you say, courtesy of Mason Mitchell and the training club, or courtesy of the Imam Co. and Brandon Luckett, or courtesy of Kiefer Lamy, or courtesy of Rich Froning. You don't just take a workout as your own and give it to your athletes and pretend like you fucking wrote it, especially when that's all your program is. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a horrible business practice in the industry as well. I'd also be willing to bet that Coach L didn't ask the Imam Co. if he could take that workout and use it and sell it to his athletes, who I think pay $375 a month for unique and individualized and custom programming. That's not custom, bro. That's someone else's shit.
Wow. That's hardcore. Corey Leonard, I get wet every time someone mentions my boy Brandon Luckett. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. What's up, Jose? Jose. Wow. Well, yeah, Morgan Porter's a unit. Yeah, she's something else. She's fun to watch work out. That thing fucking goes. Yeah, that's one of those stories that I find like so hard to believe. Like I feel like I have to call Taylor and be like, "Are you sure that happened?" Like that doesn't even make any sense. Like of course, like how is he not going to get caught? Why would you? How did like what? That doesn't even make sense. It's like listening to John Woolley speak. It just doesn't even fucking make sense. But he says it in such a calm voice. Hello. Sevon's mad at me again. Let's dig into it. And Jesus, dude, listen, don't conflate issues. I am so glad you're in the ecosystem. I'm so glad that there's people like you. I'm so glad that you express your thoughts and words and pictures on the internet. Some people will respond with, everyone is entitled to say whatever they want or their own opinion. I don't understand why they want to shut people. Dude, I'm the last person that wants to shut someone up. Do you know I shouldn't say the only, 99% of every single comment that I've ever deleted is when people accuse me of deleting comments. Like someone just on YouTube the other day posted, Sevon deleting comments again on YouTube. I thought he was all about free speech. Delete. Like, fuck you. Delete. Bye-bye. If you think I deleted something, at least tell me, let me know what I fucking deleted. What you think I deleted. All right. Oh, what is this? Maybe there's one more thing. Let's see what Tony's up to. I haven't been watching any Tony Hinchcliffe. He kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Guy. But about a month before all this happened, we found out from YouTube that there's new words that they want us to censor. New words that you have to bleep out or you don't make money anymore. Fag! Can't say fag anymore. One of the greatest words in comedy history. I was able to say fag on the Tom Brady roast for some reason, looked him right in the eyes, called him a fag. 7-time Super Bowl champion. To me, just a fag. I've never considered myself a very political.
Okay, that's good. You're back in my good graces, Tony. Damn, that's good. Is that true? You can't say fag on YouTube? Let me Google that. I didn't know there were words you can't say. Oh, I wonder if that's why my channel is getting so fucked up right now. Can you say fag on YouTube? Overuse of the words gay and fag. Can I say faggot as a gay guy? Fag behind the scenes. Can I use the word faggot as an expression? Can you say words can't say on you? I'm assuming he has an account manager. List of YouTube demonetized words. Through extensive trial and error, Nerd City, YouTube analyzed, and CeeLo created this list of words which result in demonetization of videos. Wow. Oh, wait, let me go back. What's this? Words you can't say on YouTube. You can't have sexually explicit language or narratives, use of excessive profanity in the content, use of heavy profanity or sexually suggestive terms in the content title, use of excessive sexual sounds. Wow. 69, 88, 420, 666, 911, 911, free the nipple, me too, 18 plus, 2 girls, 1 cup, 4chan, 8chan, ass, asshole, asshole, ass. Oh, these are different spellings. ABDL. I don't even know what that is. Aborted, abort, abortions. These are all words that get you abuser, abusing, abusive, assessed. I wonder why that word is on there. Accuse, acute. Wow, this is amazing. Acne, Activated, activation, actress. These are words that they say will affect the algorithm if you use them in a negative way. Adolescent. Wow, there's so many fucking words. Al Qaeda. Alabama Hot Pocket. Alex Jones. Allegations. Oh, it's just by alphabetical order. There's so many. Wow. Wow, this is wild. Someone put this list together and ranked them on how it capitalization has no effect on monetization status. This list is being updated periodically and will change over time. Some results are outdated and might be inaccurate. These results were tested in titles only. Descriptions and tags are less strict. Oh, these aren't words you can say. These are words you shouldn't put in your title. Holy shit. That's fascinating. I want to see if they have cunt in there. I'm going down to the C's. This list is so long. I'm just scrolling like a maniac. Circumcised, circumcision, civil war, cleaners, cleavage, clit liquor. You can't have clit liquor. Clitoris, clititis, clusterfuck, clutching, CNN. Wow, they don't want you to have cocaine. Wow, cocaine is like highly ranked as not to use. Cockfucker, cockhead, cocksucker, cocksuckers, cocksucking. Those are all like have a they rank them pretty high. I'm gonna look up a cunt. I'm like a little condoms is a no-go. What's this one? Consent. Don't use that in your title. Oh, coons, coomer, coom, copy. Coronavirus, corpse, crack whore, cream pie. Wow, you can't use cream pie in your title. They ding you for that. Oh, here's one. Wow, Crips. Wow, Crips has like 9 stars not to use. That's the biggest one I've seen so far. Cum guzzler, cum shot, all the cum words. Cunnilingus, cunt liquor. These are all no-goes. Wow, they don't. The word cunt isn't cunt hole is on there, but cunt is they have no dinging for it. That's crazy. Badussy. Oh, trannies. Oh man, that's interesting. I wonder how would I scroll faster? I've been scrolling this whole time and I'm only at the C's. I don't know how I would scroll faster. Oh, Command F maybe? Tranny. Tranny. 2-star for tranny. Doesn't look like it's that bad. Trans, tranny, and trans. Transgender is fine. Transsexual is fine. Any other words you want me to look up? All right. Oh, Mr. Friend is in the house. Thruple. Well, is that with 2 P's? 1 P. 1 P, 1 L. Nope, thruple's not even in there. Boy, there's going to be some great breaking news sometime soon. Another first in the CrossFit space. Wow. If you put this says that someone said that they had Osama bin Laden in the title and they got their video deleted. What about foreskin? Foreskin's a no-no. Foreskin and foreskins is a no-no. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.